Hello and welcome to the 2021 Warzone Counter Guides. I'm your host Shadows Rain, and in this one we're going to be talking about the Kar98, which is a very controversial topic here on this channel.
Yeah, and today I'm going to be apologising to A1A Hexy because in a previous tier video I said this. Obviously it's good if you want to have like a marksman rifle which, you know, has shorter range, but then you're just better off using something else. So yeah, I'm going to give it a C. It is a good pick, but it's not awful, but it's not great for me either.
So I'm actually making this video because a subscriber asked for it, and I thought, yeah, actually that's a good shout. The Kar98 isn't ever present in Warzone, and it comes and goes in the meta. Sometimes it's OP, and sometimes it's a tidy choice and nothing more. So for the times when it's hot property, how can you counter this and keep it at bay? Well, as always, let's start with the basic counters and work our way down. Not all of these are snipers, so don't think you've seen it all once you've seen the first couple of counters, as these will be going by categories like snipers, marksman rifles, ARs, etc. So let's just crack right on, and we're going to be talking about marksman rifles at first. The first one is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's going to be the SPR, so I've already made a full video about this already. It's more powerful, it's more versatile, it has a quicker base fire rate, bullet velocity, the whack. Personally, I prefer the scope of this too. The reticle is so much easier to use, of course, and the ammo is mag fed, so 0 to 5 bullets, those reloads are much quicker. Next up on the list, we're going to go on the basis of sniper scoped weapons. We are going to go to the HDR, aka the sniper of men. The real advantage is huge. The range advantage, sorry. Tons more damage, and of course it's not as mobile. But if you pick your fights at range, and that's usually your playstyle, the HDR should look after you. I find Cold War snipers too inconsistent, so none will be on this list. Right, now this is where we're going to get into some right spicy stuff. Now bear with me on this one. SKS and EBR is filthy against the Kar98 in the Kar98 range. Yes, you sacrifice that one tap ability for constant pressure. 2 clean headshots will kill. 1 clean headshot will kill if they're not fully armored or they're under pressure from another teammate. These weapons are admittedly niche. Technically, the SKS is the better choice, but the EBR has range for days. The slower fire has a slower fire rate than the SKS for sure, but it depends on how you take your fights. If you're more reserved, the EBR is the choice for you. If you're a bit more aggressive, then go for the SKS. There is a reason we have not brought the DMR and FAL into the picture, and that's because they don't have the lethality at 70+ meters to compete with the Kar98, whereas these marksman rifles do. They do have issues of their own, but if you're prepared to overcome them, those issues such as low ammo pool and sound that would break glass, then these are a fantastic choice. People don't use these guns enough. They're not as terrible as people would have you think. Seriously, give them a try. They're not half bad. Next on the list, we have our first Cold War entries. And what else but the AUG and M16. I'll be honest, I haven't played with that new burst weapon much yet, so maybe that one could go on here too. So though these have seen better OP days, they can really disrupt a Kar98 with suppressing fire. They still have a better shout. They still have a better shout than you'd think in the mid-range though, and you can just slap those recoil attachments on to compensate for the range, and it's not going to really allow the Kar98 to breathe. Combine this with the fact you can slap 60 round mags on it and you're laughing. Now we're going to move on to ARs. There is technically a few options here, surprisingly. So long-term subscribers won't be surprised to see an semi-auto M4A1 SOCOM. Much like the Marksman Rifles, these things on a full range build will deal devastating damage from quite the distance. Same as the Marksman Rifles really, though you're limited to 10 bullets on the SOCOM, but this has an option for full auto too for closer encounters, which does make it a bit more of a versatile choice than the regular Marksman Rifles. It's AR ammo too, which is so nice. The other option, again on the Marksman Rifle assault rifle hybrid vibe, is the M67 AMAX. It's not a counter though, but it can hold its own against it. It lacks the power required to deal with a Kar at mid-range, but it's still a good mid-range choice if the Kar isn't popular. However, I'd still rather be using the other Marksman Rifles, but if you want to give that a go, that you can bang with the Kar98 with this. So yeah. The next and final AR on this list is going to be the Odin. Yeah, you heard me right, the Odin. It lacks mobility and it's no good on quads, and it is a really risky choice if you're not comfortable with this type of weapon. However, getting hit with an Odin is one of the biggest sources of flinch in Warzone. Now put that flinch on a Kar98 or any precision rifle for that matter, and that mofo is going to have a right pin in the backside, hitting you meaningfully. Combine that with the outright filthy damage it does, and you do have a solid counter. Oh, and did I mention that this has semi-auto too? Yeah, boy. Well then, with all that being said, well guys, that's my take on the Counter98K guide. Counter98K? The Counter Kar98K guide. As of the time of recording, the Kar98 is currently laying dormant, a sleeping giant like Newcastle United, and is enjoying its slumber. However, it will rise again, and this video, well, I hope it'll be a godsend to you. Well guys, as mentioned on Tuesday, we're back to our usual upload schedule now. We hope to be bringing a podcast with a very special guest on Saturday, so don't miss that. Till then guys, hit all the buttons, especially that subscribe one if you haven't done so already. Nearly on 400 subscribers, that's huge. But until then guys, you take care, you've been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.